glasses on, I can't read. Dilia is from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. She's an undergraduate. Her undergraduate advisor is Professor Patricia Burkett in physics, and her research has been in the fields of medical physics and geophysics. After graduation, Dilia plans to pursue an advanced degree in international public policy. She hopes to use her Stanford education, her passion for social justice, and her fluency in 5 languages to bring science education and research to under-resourced regions and communities around the world. And let's applaud her for doing that.
Thank you, Professor Michelson. Just really quick, I want to take a moment to thank all of you, my community here at Stanford. Just want to point out, I'm here wearing the cloth from the Black Rad ceremony and the Nuestra Graduación ceremony. And the reason I wanted to point that out is because I would not have made it here without these communities and without all of you. So just want to take a moment to recognize that we are here thanks to the help from a lot of different people. And you know, word of the day, I think, is gratitude, I think. But I'll go ahead and get started. You know, this is actually my 4th physics ceremony. I've been here every year since freshman year. You know, to say I'm devoted to this department is an understatement. But I want to do things just a little bit differently. I'm not here to give advice. I just turned 22 on Friday, and thank you. You know, and when you're the subject of a Taylor Swift song, you are in no place to give advice. So, what I will do is challenge you guys just a little bit. We've known each other for 4 years. I know you are incredible people, and you guys are going to do amazing things. And instead of giving advice, I just want to remind you of a few things that we've talked about quite a bit this year in particular, and just challenge you a little bit, make a couple requests. You know, when trying to figure out what I was going to say today, I came across an article that discussed the recent moral fervor that's been sweeping college campuses. And I will admit, I was definitely caught up, and it was something that's important to me. But there was one quote in particular that really struck me, and you know, he reminded us, you know, to try and be like the worldly philosopher, and engage with the complexities of life, and remember that the path to wisdom sometimes involves facing hard truths. And I think that was a big part of our senior year in particular. And as physicists, we sometimes have a tendency to look up from our work out the window for once, you know, weirdly side-eye the outside world, and we're saying, no thanks, I'll go back to what I know, to things that I know, you know, for which there is an answer. Because sometimes the outside world doesn't give us answers. But I'm asking you not to do that. We need you to keep looking, and look at how the world treats your fellow human beings. And I'm asking you to let that fuel you. As, you know, Elon Musk, you know, my future husband, he once yes, he stated this, you know, really nicely. He said, physics trains leaders to understand problems in their most essential parts and deduce from there, often with staggering amounts of innovation to follow. Now, we all know this is called first principles. Thank you to Pat for reminding me every time I get to see you. And, you know, in this case, he was applying first principles to the world of business, but we all know we can apply this to all parts of life. And that's why we need you physicists, whether you end up being an actual, you know, hardcore physicist or not, to really go out and engage with the complexities of life. You guys are trained to do that. And, you know, this year, like I said, it's been rather trying for our campus and our communities. And for us individually, you know, we've had many difficult, uncomfortable conversations on things like systemic racism, rampant wealth disparity, sexism and sexual assault, divestment and anti-Semitism, and much more. And how these injustices affect progress, not just in science, and in society as well. And, you know, just yesterday, sorry Ella, I edited my speech, like today. Just yesterday, I met a man from Tongo in Tresor, and he had brought his 3 young, incredibly sweet and well-behaved young boys so that they could watch the Black Rat ceremony last night. And he called it positive brainwashing because he knew that he needed to take his kids to see that people that looked like them could succeed and be like us, be at Stanford, and go out and change the world. Because the media has told them things that are much different. And it really breaks my heart that no matter how well behaved and sweet these boys are, there will always be people that see them as savage and, disposable. And I know none of you guys are like that, but that is reality. And, it might feel tempting to, just leave behind the moral fervor of college, along with your PSETs once you leave here. To leave the tension and the hurt feelings, relieve yourself of these conversations and uncomfortable moments, kind of like this one. And just say no thanks, but I'm asking you not to do that. First, I'm just going to ask you just a few things, really. Just first, remember to stay humble and grounded as grateful as you already are. While also remembering to give yourself the credit you deserve and the recognition you deserve for all your hard work. I have no doubt that it's going to take you amazing places. You guys are going to kill the game. But, just always to try to be deserving and a little less, me. But I understand at the same time, you guys have put in so much work into what you do, and you guys are already such humble people, and I'm proud of you for that. But just remember, there are relatively few people that can say that they graduated from Stanford, that they had all the people around them that they needed. Next, be a little fuzzy in your life. Learn history, ethics, and philosophy. Learn the histories of the communities and systems in which you live. Know that even as scientists are in no place to take the high moral ground, having participated in many unethical practices in the name of science. They say that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And lastly, remember as you go about engaging with the world, to do so with compassion and empathy. It oftentimes isn't very easy, and life has a way of testing you, to find out how easily can you get jaded. But I promise the compassion is worth the effort. It's hard, I know it is, but it's so worth the effort. And just remember, everyone has a story. Everyone is fighting a battle that you don't know about. And that's why it's so worth it. You will be such an incredible leader, just reaching out to people and being empathetic, as you already are. And know that he who tells the story, he who has the voice, has the power to change a reality. Unfortunately, we live in a world of singular narratives, but I want you to question the truths that you've been told. Be skeptical, and think about who gets to tell the story, why they are telling it, and why they get to tell it. So don't sit back. You are made for more. We are all made for more. And remember, there's no substitute for competent, intelligent, motivated, and caring people. There's no substitute for you. The world needs you. Engage with it and don't look away. There will be times when you will find out the hard way how strong you really are. And it will be scary and it will be terrifying. We all know the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. And you are brave. You are brave for trying, and you are brave for failing. And so I challenge you to continue to be brave, to be that person that inspires while always grateful to those who inspired and helped you. Make your impact. Put yourself and your passion into your work, and life will reward you with meaning and purpose. Congratulations, class of 2015. We made it.